Well, welcome back to the Ropes Family Podcast. I think this might be episode 90.
10 away from 100?
10 away from 100.
Golly.
We're not going to make it to 100. Just kidding.
Quit.
We're going to make it to 100, but it might be by the end of the year. I don't know how many more weeks of Wednesdays do we have before we stop?
2.
Are we going to do...
this week and then 2 more.
So we have 3 weeks of podcasting for sure. Are we going to do any during the summer?
We can.
Maybe a couple during the summer.
We have Asia, camp. There's several times we can
Yeah, we got all kinds of things.
do interesting things.
Maybe I could do another remote podcast from you guys in Asia.
Maybe we won't be delirious.
That might be fun. I like doing those.
We were awful.
I could have Allison on the podcast.
Yes.
She could talk to you guys. That'd be good because she has some context. That'll be good.
I'm gonna miss her.
Yeah, it should be all right.
No, don't say that. Rude. Allison, I'm sorry.
Anyway, so sorry. So episode 90, and so in the summer we will have podcasts, just kind of more sporadic. So the next 3 weeks, to this podcast, and the next 2 will be kind of our finishing up this semester podcasts. But today I wanted to talk about something that was interesting, and so I was telling Courtney before we recorded. Listeners, sorry, I'm not talking to Courtney at this very second, that that things like this seem to kind of stick out to me a lot. I don't know if they're following me around, but ideas like this tend to stick out to me, and it's probably because of it's like of course I think this way, so it's like an echo chamber of my life. It's just kind of these things. So what we're talking about is culture. What did I say? Culture starts from the house, the home?
Yeah, culture shift or something?
What did I say? What did I text you?
Culture change starts from home.
Culture change starts from home. Okay. So where did I get that idea? I got this from, this is not original to me. I'm in a class at Wayland called Cultural Exegesis.
It's a large word.
It's not that word. It's not Jesus, cultural exegesis. It's exegesis. So it basically means like diving into the culture, understanding the culture. This class is focusing mainly on other cultures, like different cultures from the one you're in, cross-cultural things. That's what this class is mainly talking about. But in one of the things, I don't remember it. Our professor had us watch it's a 2 or 3 minute video. I'm not going to play it on here, but it was called A Culture to Fight With by this fella named Toby Sumter. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know anything about him. Sorry. I watched the video and did it. But I thought it was very interesting. This was kind of the back half of what he had to say was, to change culture starts from within the household. And the reason why we do that starts within the household is because the household is where formation happens. You know, we form, we grow as a human. You know, we eat there, we sleep. You know, we grow, and the house is where we play and where we laugh. You know, so we grow in our personality, and then other things that we do in our house. We form habits to grow as a human, you know, and so formation starts in the house, especially and you can look at that as, like when you're about to read a verse, train your kids in the way they should go. I'll let you read that too and kind of go off of that. But, when we're thinking about our houses as family discipleship, as family worship, the formation starts in the home, and what can happen in the home transfers out. So it's not like we're not just this culture inside our house, but this culture can begin to morph and to grow into the culture around us, and grow and spread into those who are in our direct circles. So that was kind of I thought it was very interesting. Especially kind of for the time of this that we're kind of in our own community, how we sometimes have to choose different things. You know, we have to choose Jesus over things, which is I would recommend the better thing to do most of the time. But anyway, what do you got, Courtney?
Well, that verse you just mentioned is Proverbs 22:6, and it says, "Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it." Mm-hmm. And we just talked about this before the podcast, but that's planting. That's a soil thing. We have the soil. We're planting the seeds, and then, like you said, Jesus has to water them and feed them. And I think if we do start our kids off and we raise them to be countercultural, which you say all the time, I mean, that right there is changing how they're going to go out into the world. Now, are they going to make bad choices? Yes.
Yeah.
Are they going to sin? Yes, we all do. But if they have that foundation or that soil, there are seeds planted, and they know, what they've been taught, and they can always come back to it because God's not going to be like, "Yep, write them off.
Yeah.
I'm done with them." No, even no matter what they do or what we do, even.
Yeah.
God's still saying, "Come back."
Yeah.
So I think that's a big culture.
Baby, come back.
Stop.
Sorry.
That commercial's always on tape.
Oh man, the ADHD is flowing right there. That one was a deep cut. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's it. It's just, we have to start at home with laying a foundation. And then whatever we're letting them talk about, watch, whatever at home is going to be what they go out into the world and share with others. And so if we are taking the time to, impress Jesus on them and, show them what a God we serve, then they're going to go out into the world and do that.
That's good.
But I know that some people have said like, well, I take them to church.
Yeah.
Well, I have my kids, my children's ministry kids for 3 hours a week, max. You have them for however many hours are left in the week. And so
I was having a conversation with somebody, I'm not going to mention who, but we were talking about the amount of time that our kids could spend at church if they were here all the time. And it's about 4% of our year. And I didn't hear that. I didn't do the math. Somebody else did that math and shared it on a podcast, but I was like, oh yeah, makes sense. 4% of a year, but the parents, they get them for the rest of the time, unless they're too busy doing other things. But we start them off on the way they should go. We plant them in good soil. But you mentioned that, I take my kids to church, right? Tonight is our family worship night, and I get to teach at it. And I've been really excited to teach about it because I've had all these ideas that I've wanted to talk about. And so I'm trying not to... I could talk for like 6 hours.
Please don't.
This thing. I'm not going to.
Thank you.
I'm not going to. But I'm really excited about it because it's like... but anyway, this is what I'm talking about is we're talking about the parable of the sower. So the sower goes out and as he's planting, he drops some seeds on the path, and those seeds, they don't grow, they don't have roots, they don't grow, they get taken by the birds. And then there's seeds that are kind of thrown out on the rocky ground. They don't have deep, they're excited about, they get roots, they grow a little bit, but the first time they face trials, they're uprooted and they're gone. And then there's seeds that are planted among the thorns. So they kind of have some good soil, but they grow up and they get choked out by the things of the thorns are the things of the world, and so they get choked out by the things of the world. And kind of the big finishing point that I'm going to have tonight is, or I think one of the big finishing points is one of them.
Till the ADHD starts.
Until I start telling all kinds of crazy stories. Is the seeds that are planted in good soil are intentionally planted. It's an intentional thing to plant seeds in good soil. And you can look at that from a parent's perspective of like, we're intentionally planting our kids' seeds in good soil. So as they grow, they'll have good roots for when the world hits them. Or even our own self, we have to intentionally plant ourselves in good soil, because if we don't, we're going to be one of those four, Either we're not going to have faith at all, or we're going to have faith that is cool for a minute, and then as soon as persecution comes along,
tested.
We're gone. Or we get distracted by the things of the world, the busyness of this world. or we're going to intentionally plant ourselves in good soil. And so I'm coming at that from a couple of different perspectives, from parents, from community, from kids' perspective, or from the individual's perspective. But I think culture change happening within the house goes along with that. Like we have to be intentional in our own house, in our own household, in the formation of our kids to be able to go out, for them to go and change culture from a bigger perspective.
And to have the faith or the confidence in their faith to stand up. Mm-hmm. I mean, our kids at our school are not like
heathens.
Yeah, they're not super tested
yet.
They don't yet, exactly. Not on a daily basis. There's been times that my son has said stuff, and I'm like, really? But at other schools, I've heard stories about kids having to stand up to all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like how did your kid do that? And so I pray that I'm building that foundation for them to have the confidence to stand up, because there's going to be a time they have to.
Yeah,
and
always.
So do we, but it's just interesting when you're a 15-year-old kid and not an old lady like me. I'm not going to talk about how old I am. It's fine.
So you brought like things at the school, like Emerson. I mean, she's in 8th grade. I mean, Ali's in 8th grade. She's 8 years old.
It's like she's not.
They're 8 years old. They're in the 3rd grade. But Emerson will come home with the wildest questions. And I think I've said this on the podcast before, but like she'll see her friends doing something. They were talking about, I guess in reading or something, they were talking about like the Greek goddesses and gods or whatever. And a couple of her friends like got down on their knees and were like, doing, like they were pretending, they were like they were praying to the Greek goddesses or whatever. And Emerson said, "Daddy, is that really bad?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah." I said, Emerson, I wouldn't do that. But this is not tooting my own horn, but like that's an example of her understanding that that's different than what she's called to do as a Christian. That's coming from hopefully good soil that I've planted, that, we've kind of put her in, that she's able to recognize when things aren't the way they should go, when things don't go the way that, we've taught.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm not bad mouthing those kids or those girls. They just don't know.
Yeah.
They may not necessarily have the good soil or the good culture or the good formation at home to be able to understand it, what they're doing. And Emerson she is hyper aware of her faith right now, and she's trying to understand, where she can, which is, I think it's the Holy Spirit working on her, which is really cool to see her grow and form into. But that's also opening up a big responsibility for her parents, Allison and I, to be able to disciple her and to prepare her for those things for when she is 15. And it's not like kids doing weird things, not knowing what they're doing, but it's like real serious, sinister things that she's going to face, and how to interact with that. So if our kids aren't playing it in good soil, or if the culture in our own house isn't forming her well, I think that's something that we as parents should focus on and work on. You got anything else?
Not really.
Okay.
Short podcast.
That's a little shorter. I guess if you're listening to this podcast, it comes out on Friday. So tomorrow, on Saturday, is our Dwell Richly conference. If any of this has intrigued you or, piqued your interest, there's going to be a couple speakers here talking about the same thing. So or maybe not the same thing I just said, but how to do this, how to change culture of your household to point your kids, to point your house to the Lord. And I think that I think you would benefit greatly if you came. I know that there's something going on Saturday, but I was trying to come up with a clever thing to say about Amarillo by morning, or all my exes live in Texas. That might be true. Amarillo, you could drive to in the morning, but today or tomorrow, instead of going to Amarillo by morning, you could come to Ropesville by morning and participate in our Dwell Richly conference.
It's true, you could.
You definitely could. It's been a fun time, and it's it's really, I'm excited about it.
I have been asked what the dress code is.
Just come regular.
Just comfy clothes?
Yeah, come regular.
Okay.
Yeah, man, just regular. Wear clothes.
Thank you.
Please.
Somebody says like church dress, and I was like, I think it's just comfy.
Yeah, regular clothes. Just regular clothes. What you would wear to church, not church. What would you wear?
Wednesday night.
Well, yeah, Wednesday night church.
That's scary for me.
Yeah.
Because I look homeless.
Whatever. I mean, I have paint on my shirt, and I'm preaching tonight, and I have paint on my shirt. So that's kind of the dress. But it's been funny. So, Mr. Straight's event has played a lot of. He's played this event has played a big role in complicating this whole conference. But it's been fun to overcome those challenges and fun to rely on people that I know of to come in to make it work. Like hotels for our conference speaker. They're all sold out, or even the ones in Brownfield. Or I think Airbnbs were like thousands of dollars for a bed. Stupid. And so I'm like, well, and so I called around and found some people to stay. And then plane tickets for that same speaker, they were a little higher than it normally takes to fly from Dallas. But that all worked out too. So it's been fun to see God overcome the challenges of Mr. Straight. And maybe and I don't think it's Mr. Straight's fault, it's probably more my fault for planning this on the same weekend. But Mr. Straight was not on my radar. So, but I think that the families that are coming, I'm so excited for you guys to come and be a part, and I think it'll really do some good and give you some good direction. You got anything else, Courtney?
Mm-mm.
All right. So if you're listening to this before Saturday or on Saturday, please say a quick prayer for us. Say a prayer for the conference and for all the people that are coming to invest. And we thank you so much. All right, that's all we got this week. Episode 90. I know we get nostalgic about this all the time, but on episode 2, did you think we would be talking about episode 90 or 91?
Honestly, no.
Yeah. I was surprised when we hit episode 10 or 15.
It just stressed me out so bad.
It still stresses me out, but I think this is, like I say, every week or every time I can. This is one of the most favorite things I get to do at my job.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love hanging out with people that love the Lord. I like to get to participate in church and teach and preach or whatever, lead worship. But this is one of the fun outlets that we get to do. But thank you guys for listening. We'll talk at y'all later. Peace.